Hello, friends, we're back. Oh my goodness, it's been a while since we played normal Elden Ring. Why is my camera not on? Hello? Okay, that's weird. It should be on. Something has gone terribly wrong with the camera in between the last stream and this one. Let me try activate it again. Where are you, camera? Talk to me. Okay, God, 1 second. There we go. There he is. What happened? Who knows? Who can possibly say what happened just then? Okay. Just going to start the new game process here. Oh, a new character. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a while. Right. Let's hop over to Elden Ring. Hopefully this is... Yeah, that's going to load. Good. I'm briefly going to go over to YouTube and delete my community post there so people don't think I'm still live with Minecraft. Okie doke. Perfect. Alright. So, welcome back. Welcome back to the ridiculousness of Elden Ring. We're going to be starting Samurai this time. We're going to be changing out of the Samurai stuff pretty quickly, but I have a specific idea for this that I want to see if I can pull off. We'll see. We will need dexterity and strength for the character, so that's good. Having endurance is also helpful. This is going to be Axe of Godrick, because this is going to be the Axe of Godrick playthrough. And I had an appearance favorite already saved. There he is. Oh, I made this ages ago because I did not know how long it was going to take here you go. I'll show you without the camera. I did not know how long it was going to take for the randomizer. So yeah, we have Axe of Godrick here. Can I get to face and hair? There we go. Look at this man. I think it's so good. It's obviously a little bit Axl Rose, but I just wanted to give us a fun character. Most of it he won't be able to see because he'll be a samurai for a little bit. But so we're going to start the game. I didn't even choose a keepsake, but that's fine. We don't need one. Here comes the bouncy ball. Sing along if you know the words.
The fallen leaves tell a story.
So obviously, if the folks who are here for this weren't here for the last run, we did the Axe of Godrick as a randomizer run, which meant we were able to obtain it very early.
Great Elden Ring
The Axe of Godfrey was that one. The Axe of Godrick is going to be a lot easier to get because all we need to do is get to Stormvale.
across the fall.
I have a little notes app document with what we will need for this. We need 34 strength and 22 dex. So we start with 16, 17 dex as a samurai. What controller am I using? Xbox pad, wired in.
Queen Marika the Eternal.
But we are going to start as a samurai, and I will see if I remember how to play this game.
And in the night of
Because the last stream was on Thursday.
Godwyn the Golden was
Oh,
first
Godwyn.
to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all.
Yeah, that was last month,
They
I know.
entered the
It's been a month since I
shafts
played Elden Ring. What?
of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength
Shout out to Mad Taint.
triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose.
There she is. Saw her very briefly. I feel like the only time we've actually seen Melania in this entire A to Z was just because of the randomizer putting her in Mohg's arena. We didn't see Radahn at all, actually. That's something that surprised me, is we never fought Radahn.
Oh, rise now, ye tarnished,
Hell yeah.
ye dead, who yet live.
Back on it, baby.
The call of long lost grace speaks to us all.
Here we go. Join in.
Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands. The ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion. The loathsome dung-eater.
Star of the previous run.
And Sir Gideon Ofnir. The all-knowing.
His mouth is so wide open, I just noticed. Very disturbing. And one other rat, whom grace would again bless.
And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown.
With a pretty cool, like, bow glove thing.
Cross the fog.
Nice beads as well.
To the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring. And become the Elden Lord.
Immediate cut from white to black. Yeah, we're in it now. Oh, maiden, we're really in it now. Oh, to have items in places I expect them to be. Fantastic. So, the reason we're starting Samurai is that A, you start with a bleed weapon, so it's a lot easier to take out Greol, and B, I want to kill the Grafted Scion. So this is going to be interesting. I've not done this for a while, but I would like to get hold of the ornamental shield for this playthrough. And since the Grafted Scion is the product of Godrick's mad meddling, this feels like a good place to start. So we're going to Mighty Shot a couple of times here. And immediately get hit. Okay, that's basically the one hit we can take in this entire fight, so we're going to have to play it a little safe from this point. Only problem is, we're going to fall off the cliff. Never mind. We'll come back and get the ornamental shield then, it's fine. I was just kind of thinking, if we can get an early start on Grafted Scion, then good. If not, no worries. I'm going to skip the cutscenes from here on because we've seen these, of course. Not going to worry about the tutorial cave. We're going to hop up here. Head out through the door. Oh, to have more have items in places where I expect them to be as me after cleaning the apartment? Yeah. I feel you. So yeah, from this point on, we can probably dispense with the... not the Uchigatana. Dispense with the longbow until such time as we start farming stuff at Mohgwyn Palace. For now, we're going to be very much a sword main. The cliff was stronger. It was. It was, regrettably. It was. But, yeah, let's head out here. Talk to Barry, obviously. Limgrave. It feels really weird playing this normally again. And it feels like the randomizer didn't even take all that long, but it was just chaotic.
Without guy, you are Lummy, are you familiar? You may also that. It will lead, even if it great to castle home. It's to castle if you seek.
Yep, we are definitely after that Elden Ring. So, up to the church, do our usual starts, get the crafting kit, get Torrent, and then head off to kill Greol. And we're going to basically be trying to get a decent amount of dex and strength just from killing Greol, go and beat Margit, and then make a beeline for Godfrey, basically. Because... oh, Godrick, dang it. Okay. I need to get them straight, because I was calling the Axe of Godrick the Axe of Godfrey and vice versa the entirety of the last run. And I can't live like this. Pretty soon I won't even have to worry about them
Reckon
anymore.
also that you're not then wine. I am Carly.
What's up, Carly? We'll get some arrows as well.
Goodbye.
See ya. So we'll grab the root resin and stuff from around here so that we can get the blood grease crafting recipe. That'll make fighting Greol a little quicker. The Uchigatana has pretty decent bleed build-up. Another one right there. Yeah, there we go. The guard's all waking up. Okie doke, that's 6 root resin total. I think we're pretty good. What's up, Andy Forgets? Welcome in. How many hours do I have in Elden Ring now? Close to 800. I think it's 780 or something. Alright, let's sit. Skip Melna cutscene.
Have they, sir? But you, I can play turning to aid you. You need O to the foot.
Accept the accord
summon me.
and
I bequeath.
receive the ring.
Use it. It will summon torrent. Treat him with.
Alright, thanks. Let's pop that on here. I forget how I prefer to summon the horse now. Weird. Yeah, I'm going to keep this just so we can use that when we get the... when we get the Radagon's Saw Seal. Although I guess we don't need it for this because we're not going to the DLC really, are we? Alright, let's walk back to... I never got the Church of L.A. Grace. Weird. Let's go and get the Gold Pickle Falfoot now, though. Since I've walked back here, I might as well. Rani will still be there at the church when we go there. Grab this, and a hook. And a hook. And we're away. You finally got all the weapons in a single save file? Nice. I've never done that, farming all of the weapons for one character. I'm obviously going to use every weapon if this playthrough challenge thing continues, but yeah, getting them all for one character is a feat. So if I rest at this grace, does Rani appear now? Do you actually have to teleport back to this grace? That's really strange. Yeah, huh.
This way, tarnished.
Interesting.
May I
She
have
only
a word?
appears here if you teleport. I hadn't really considered
I'd
that.
heard and upon the talk thou art but a call for. I was instructed by torrents. 'Tis a bell summon them, the spirit now it is that. Forgive, I doubt we shall. How long will it be for the tarnished?
Alright. Other thing I want to do is remove this helmet. So we can see our hero here for a little bit more. Right. So from here, we don't need to worry too much about Weeping Peninsula unless we want flasks. Let's go to Gatefront, head up to Warmaster's Shack. We will need to get a couple of bits and pieces from Fort Height if we want blood grease, but for the most part, I think we can just make our way to Greol in a fairly relaxed manner because we're not speedrunning to the DLC. Who was Torrent's former master? Difficult to say. Like, I'm not sure if it's ever clarified. People speculated it was Miquella because there was a promo shot for the DLC of Miquella riding Torrent in the Land of Shadow, but I don't know if it was. Warmaster Shack sounds terrifying. He's a big guy. We'll get that. Talk to Rodrika.
Everyone who
I still like Rodrika in the Land of Reed's armor. I thought it was a really good fit for her.
Well, that, but I don't have. It's scary. I want to. I'm nothing.
Get the jellyfish, so we can use that later if we want to. All right. Cheers for that, as Patches would say. Let's do that, and then yeah, I guess we'll get the Strength Not Crystal tier for the mixed physic, just because it's out in the open, and we'll probably thank ourselves for it later if we want to use the Axe of Godrick right away. It's a weapon that scales with strength. It's a strength dex combo, like a quality weapon, so there we go. Bit more root resin around the trees. Of course. Wolf ashes are also from the same person, so who could have had wolf ashes? Well, I mean, Rani has wolf ashes. Rani summons spectral wolves, and wolves in general all the time.
Not names, but let me ask, are you here? Does your despite takes me any intro? All I know, now's the time.
We want anything from Bernal? Probably not this time around. Maybe no skill later, but
well,
let's not worry about that. Yeah, let's head down the coasts and do Fort Height now. They really go for it. Like, whoever was in the booth recording these scream sounds must have had a heck of a time. Unless they're like stock scream sounds, but they must have been recorded at some stage by someone, so shout out to whoever that is. I'm also still slightly in Dark Souls 1 mode where I'm like, I have to rest at this grace in order to consider it my checkpoint. And now I'm like, nope, don't have to do that actually. Let's not worry too much about that. We're going to go and get Somber Smithing Stones, because Axe of Godrick is, of course, a Somber weapon, so getting those will still be beneficial to us in the long run anyway. There's also another gold pickled foulfoot up here, which is very easy to get, so I might snag that on the way past. Up behind the waypoint ruins. Do I have a default kind of route for the beginning of these weapon runs, or does it depend? So if it's a DLC weapon, I have a very specific route that I learned from a YouTube video that's a fast start for the DLC. You start Samurai, you get Bloodhound's Fang, you level that to +10, and you go and beat Mohgwyn Radahn with it. For weapons that don't require me to go to the DLC, I typically don't go to the DLC even for, like, talismans that might help with the build or whatever, because at this point the base game is familiar enough to me, and the DLC is just a really long diversion. So, for these, I typically just go and kill Grail, and then go around getting all of the smithing stones I need to upgrade to, like, +15 or +6 or 7 or whatever the sensible range is for a Somber weapon. And then, yeah, just kind of play the game in a fairly linear fashion from that point. But yeah, the beginning is always, like, get a bleed weapon, kill Grail, and move it on from there, you know? Where am I right now? I overshot a little bit. I'm over the other side of the bridge. And the Knight's Cavalry is going to be there. That's annoying. Don't know quite how I ended up here, but I need to be over here. Wait, no I don't. I need to be over here. So I don't need to tangle with the Knight's Cavalry after all. I just got turned around there. I've not been in Limgrave for a while, apparently. But that's a Somber 1. We could head south to the Weeping Peninsula just to get flasks and stuff. But the main reason I think I need to head through here is get the Wondrous Physic. And then, yeah, I want to go and do... I want to go and gather blood roses at Fort Height. So let's go this way. Yeah, that way. The Great Axe in there is not what I want. The other thing we could do is offhand the Highland Axe, but you get that in Stormvale, so there's no real concern there. We'll get that when we get it. Might as well go and see Kenneth since we're doing all of the stuff with Stormvale. We'll probably end up getting the Nefeli Lu quest done. Not that we'll need to, because with a Somber weapon, like, we don't need the smithing stones they give you. But it feels fun to have Nefeli for the Horaloo fight. We're definitely not doing Shibriri for this one. I heard of Bingo Brawlers. I've seen bits of it, yeah, like I've seen people do that. They had a GDQ appearance recently.
Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Hut.
Oh, Kenneth.
Well, that's no. Despite of young tarnish, I want you tonight.
Look at the contrast in hair color that's going on here.
Fret not, celebrate. I'm at the honestly got first, then he and to think. Yeah. What my fault?
Alright, I'm hoping that it starts to rain gold in a second, just so we can get maybe some more runes from the Knight's Cavalry in East Caelid. Was wondering what the noise was. It was the rain in game. Sorry about that. Don't have the type of sliders that are so fine-tuned like in Minecraft, so I can't turn the weather sound effects down. Also, hope it starts raining gold. Rent's getting out of hand. Yeah, the rent is too damn high. We'll use that for now. We won't bother talking to Melina. Still no runes. That's all about to change. We should probably go south through the Mistwood, go to Fort Heights, get the stuff for Blood Grease, and make killing Grail a little faster. We'll get the map while we're on the way. Also hear Blythe howling in the Mistwoods. In case we want to do anything about that later. There we go. I think just hearing it is enough. Oh, while we're here, actually. Might as well go down and get this. Don't really feel like fighting the Rune Bear right now. Since we're going to be using an axe, we may as well have the axe talisman. Awu indeed. And hey, some actual wolves. For any of the weapons, do I plan to use a shield? So I was hoping to get hold of the shield from the Grafted Scion right at the beginning of this run, but I walked off the cliff instead. So we're going to probably go back and fight the Grafted Scion, because then we get the Axe of Godrick and a nice gold shield, which I think is going to be quite a good combo. The Lord of all that is golden. I will try my best to get some fitting armor along the route as well, but we'll see. Godrick doesn't really have any equipment that you can acquire from, like, the finger reader. Oh, the brass shield wouldn't look too bad, actually, thinking about it. Not quite gold, but it'll do. You fool! I've trained for this. I haven't trained for this guy, apparently. Is that guy with the sword going to, like, investigate what I just did over there? Because... what I did was not very much. Oh, I was hoping for the pumpkin head. Oh, ouch. Okay, he poised through that like a champion. I guess he is two-handing. I was waiting for that other guy to draw his crossbow. He didn't. Now he did. See, what I really wanted was this. But there's more blood roses inside of here as well, so we might as well go and get that. Oh god, the rats. The rats! I do like the katana fighting style in this. Oh, we got a flask refresh. That's actually kind of clutch. We need this, because that helps us make the blood grease that we want. We'll kill this guy halfway up. Refresh blue. And fight the knight at the top. We'll get the Dectus medallion while we're here, so... yeah, guard counters are something I want to get into with this playthrough, I think. Oh, ouch. No, he straight up killed me. Nice. Feels so alienly normal compared to, was there a dragon here in the randomizer? I'm pretty sure there was a dragon in 4 height, yes. Dragon D's swords across your throat. I think we'll run past everything this time, because we might as well. Excuse me. Nice. Alright, you. Give me back my runes. The delay on that is rough. One more of those should be a poise break. Easy. Ooh, Gilded Great Shield as well. Nice. Don't normally get that drop from that guy. The extra blood roses can't hurt either. So maybe we can use that with the Axe of Godrick for a while. At least until we get to 4 Belfries. But yeah, I want to start using guard counters more. It's a whole playstyle that I've never really messed with. And from what I understand, Godrick's axe is pretty good at guard counters because it's got a long range. It's a great axe, not a colossal weapon like the Axe of Godfrey is, so... Anyway, we'll hop in here. We've got plenty of runes now, so we can do a couple of basic level ups. What's up, Josh? Welcome in. So yeah, Garank is like, who are you? Right now, so... let's not worry about that. I don't think we'll use much in the way of incantations, but... oh yeah, forgot about this part.
Forgive me to determine if you had. It seems torrent, whereas I'm in. There is, but I can take gathering.
Let's not go to round table yet. Okay, we're on 2 now.
Shall I let my share them with me?
Turn my runes to dexterity. Can make 12 blood grease, that's more than enough. Excuse me, sir. Actually doesn't fight you unless you attack him, which is amazing. I had to go and take out the scarab that's over here for a Somber 9. A little off the beaten path, but pretty useful at this stage. Just gotta make sure we don't get attacked by the vulgar militia. Nice, okay. So that's a really early Somber Smithing Stone. Yeah, there's a lot of staggers, yeah. And stunning the beetles is actually really important because sometimes they will just get away from you. And if you stagger them, you can usually get a couple of quick hits in. You can't backstab it, though. There's no, like, riposte option because they're not a combatant. Excuse me. We'll get the golden runes from here, because I think there's a golden rune 8 in one of these. Yeah, there you go. Worth it for a couple of extra coins in hand. Unfortunately, I died and it reset the day-night cycle, so we didn't make it here on our first night, but that's fine. Any particular twist on Axe of Godrick? Honestly, the twist is that we're back to normal. I feel like we've done the full run with Slay XP through the DLC, and then we did the whole randomizer thing for Axe of Godfrey, so the fact that Axe of Godrick is kind of normal is unusual feeling at this stage. Yeah, we are untwisting, if anything, yeah. Hello. Now I've got to remember how to do this, because we didn't do this on the last run, it's been a while. Got to lure him up into the forest first. Avoid. Jump off about here, and don't do that. Anticipation of the randomizer was fun? Yeah, like, it's a very different way of playing the game. I think, honestly, if you can get the Knight's Cavalry to chase you continuously, I feel like the first attack they do is normally that, like, jumping swing. And so if you can get them to chase you in a continuous line, end up over here, and not, like, change the fact that they're charging, I think it's more likely for them to do the attack. Like that. And that's the attack that usually gets them to jump off of here, so... Alright, now the question is, will he make it off the ledge? Come on, surely. And there he goes. Nope, he's still there. Problem is, after a while being stuck in that position, he will reset to being on the bridge. I think if he, like, loses aggro, sometimes it happens. Come on, lads. Get thee off there now. I really don't know a good way of, like, guaranteeing that he falls once he's up there. Where are you? Can I go up here? And see, then he warps back, yeah. And then I jump off again. I tried my best. Yeah, very funny that this is considered normal. But here we are. I really don't need to go up here and collect these, because there's only like 700 of them. We're about to get like 42,000 or something, but... Oh, where are you? What are you even doing? Oh, he's still on the bridge. Hello? Oh god. This is a problem. He's still chasing me, that's good. Don't want him to lose interest, that's the main thing. There we go. Yeah, 54 is pretty solid for this stage of the game. Try Knight. So what is the stats that we need? We need like 34 strength and 22 dex. So we're probably going to get there if we put absolutely no points into Vigor. Enemy fell, yeah. They didn't quite conjugate the verb right. So we're also going to be doing a little extra damage to Grail, which should make this go marginally faster, but the main thing is bleed. Great, enemy fell. Or if it says slain, it should be like slain down there on the ground, because he's dead. Welcome, return of Old Dragon. Let's put the blood grease on the pouch just briefly. Nice. Hopefully we should get through this before the blood grease runs out. If not, the weapon does bleed anyway, so... I think my gold pickled Foulfoot, yeah, is just about to run out too. Okay, so we'll use another blood grease. By having the Uchi with Bloodflame Blade, I decided to do Grail the normal way. Yeah, fair play. I think it's fun to do it at least once that way. Feels like penance for all of the times we've done it this way, right? One more round. And now just a few more bits of chip damage to the end. I still think this is faster with a different weapon like the Morning Star and Wild Strikes. Just because it procs bleed way faster. With the blood grease, it's overkill. That's 5 Dragon Hearts and 90,000 runes. The rest of which show up now. There we go. Nice. So, easy 150k. This needs to be at 34. We can put a few points into Vigor. Just about. We're probably going to need some Endurance long-term as well. Let's throw another 3k on it so we get that last level up. And then 400 or whatever runes is perfectly fine to lose inside of Fort Pharaoh. We also get up to 100 physical defense. Although I would actually probably end up going to Kale now. spend all of my remaining runes on arrows. Talk to him about the Howling in the Mistwoods.
Next time you don't fret. I just have an ink.
Get Finger Snap so that we can go back and see Blythe. Then we'll get a Somber 2 from the Darriwil fight. We'll quickly do some other stuff around Fort Faroth, like getting Radagon's Saw Seal, which we shouldn't need for this run, but it's an extra injection of strength and whatnot at a point where our health is still pretty low and nothing is doing massive damage to us. Any more poison? Yep, thought so. We managed to avoid it though. Sometimes I do just get poisoned going up this ladder. But now we have the Dectus Medallion, so we can get up to Altus if we want to. We wanted to skip most of the game. Golden Rune 12 from in here. Oh, got ratted. Never mind. Wouldn't be the first time. Spare me the indignity of dying. And now at least we have a couple of talismans we can equip. So that puts my strength and dex up to 39 and 27, which is pretty good for the Uchigatana. We don't have an upgrade for it yet. I think maybe I'll keep the Blood Grease on for now. And yeah, we don't have like... We don't really have smithing stones to upgrade the Uchigatana, but I think just based on raw stats, we should be able to go and fight Margit and Godrick. Dang it! Every time, dude. Why they had to make this game with such similar names. Don't need that anymore. If we wanted to, we could go to Liurnia and get the Mixed Physic tier that also gives you increase in dex, just to have like a ridiculously overstatted weapon with no scaling on it whatsoever. But I think we're already doing a little better in terms of damage, so it should be fine. We can unsheath on Margit a couple of times, and that's going to get him poise broken pretty quickly. It was Godfrey last time. I know that's one of the things that's confusing me, I suppose. When we get to Marika's Hammer or Sacred Relic Sword, the idea is that we will do those as New Game Plus runs. Or if I'm feeling spicy, I do another randomizer, but again, there's just no guarantee of what weapons you're going to get in a randomizer. We just got very lucky with Axe of Godrick, so... Axe of Godfrey, rather. Yeah, let's do Margit. Foul Tarnished. Oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. This should bleed. Huge. Didn't even use the Mixed Physic yet.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Had no stamina for all of that. When I said we were going to be fine, what I meant was I will need to use all my flasks. And he'll almost kill me, but we'll win anyway. So now at least I can put the Axe Talisman on here. Bye, Morgott. See you later. Probably one more into Vigor. I think we might need that. Yeah. Axe Talisman as well. We'll try and do a couple of charge attacks on Godrick. Who needs cutscenes when you have chat, right? Yeah. From here, we get Gostock to open the main gates.
The gods, you breached. Well, but of course.
Chat scenes is very good. Why did that not? Oh, it did. Okay, fair. Every time, dude. Alright, from here I should be safe to drink. Okay. We'll hop through here. Quickly tag the Grace by the Divine Bridge, because it will be nice to get Godrick's Great Rune. Thematically, we should be using it for the majority of this run anyway, so... Ouch. Alright, we'll hot foot through this door. Looking at the title saying, didn't he do that already? Yep. Unless I've spelled it Godfrey in the title, I think we're fine. Excuse me. Gonna have them running up right as I get hit by firebolts here. Okay, good. Oh, just about. Okay. We're in. Don't worry about me, I got this. It's fine. Getting used to how much I have to sprint and roll and use stamina again. Let's say hi to Nepheli. No. Why are birds always the worst? Okay. Not as bad as it could have been, I suppose.
Be proud. You were a fine warrior.
Now what am I?
Yeah. Well, tarnished. I am I'm here by decree. How utter this graft is tainted them. If I ask you, the wings run. I'm certain. I'll pass fellow down, whatever.
Okay, now we could upgrade that if we wanted to. We wanted like a +3 Uchigatana for the Godrick fight. I don't think we'd even get to +3 actually. We might have to make do with +2. I think I might actually go to Round Table Hold here, just so I can go and upgrade with Hugh. and meet Gideon before I beat my first shard bearer.
Very well. Let my hand.
Can always parry the bird. Can't really parry with just the sword, though. Unfortunately. I'm not sure if the spacing works out well for guard counters either.
Oh, that can't remember very well. It is sick. Allow me, you, a house kid. Remember your... There's no...
Oh, here's D.
Oh, welcome to I teach and explore so that one day ensuring, by the way, you do. Most tarn you are, well, may the golden... I don't, I'm known as heed those who all the more, unless you... I'm, well, the honor of one. By the way, she's my
I'm glad he's well.
Eyes off you find her.
Roderica's not here yet. We're not going to worry about fear. Okay, we have a +1 Uchigatana. I guess that will do. Just got back to the start of Axe of Godrick. Is it Godrick? Oh my god. Is it a normal playthrough again? Yes, it is. So we could summon Nefeli here if we wanted to, but I think we're just going to flask up and use blood grease and then go for it. I'll show you the cutscene for this one because I'll start making thumbnails on YouTube again. I need to upload all of the previous rando runs at this point. I'm really far behind.
Mighty dragon. Thou'rt a true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred.
Lend me thy axe.
Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. Lowly tarnished. Playing as a lord.
This is possibly going to be one of the least stompy Godrick fights that I've done for a while.
I am the lord of all that is golden.
I love the 6 fingers he has, as opposed to the 2 fingers. Who we really don't love. I was going to dodge that. Didn't quite make it, but never mind. Alright, second half of this should be okay. Getting a few extra hits so we're closer to a stance break. There we go. And we don't have blood grease on right now, so it'll take longer for him to bleed, but... Okay, now that arm's got a dragon on it, so it sweeps harder. I've not had to think about Godrick's moveset for a while, so I'm a little rusty with this fight at such a low level, but... Unsheath is still just such a powerful attack. Almost had me.
The Lord of all that is golden, and one day
4 HP in a dream.
return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
And that's what we needed. So now we've got the Remembrance, we've got the Great Rune. We can say hi to Gostock.
What happened? Oh, he got what tell you though. He had.
Don't need to buy anything from you. Bandit garb.
Now I can I?
Alright. From here, back to the Round Table hold. I guess actually thinking about it, we don't need the Highland Axe from Stormvale because the AoE attack from this isn't a roar attack, and I think the Highland Axe buffs roars. I refuse to look at the two fingers.
To become Elden. Well, okay, and I will the finger.
So, for this... Okay, we get it for free. I thought we needed the runes, but we don't. So, we now have the Axe of Godrick. And I'm pretty sure we have the stats we need to one-hand it, even. So, here we are already. Just an hour's worth of playtime, slightly less, 55 minutes. We now have the weapon for the run. I would love to go and get the shield still, so we'll probably return to Chapel of Anticipation through 4 Belfries. But yeah, I guess we're going to be leveling Vigor a little bit and moving on. I don't know much about this weapon. Like, I never really played around with the Remembrance weapons on my first playthrough. Let's go see Gideon and Nefeli while we're here. We'll get the gesture from Ensha as well. Just for fun.
I thought you'd Nefeli, look, I'm glad to see. I found it in you were the one to make good use. I don't intend. I wonder if he's in his study. If you haven't already, Father is, I'm sure, to.
Go say hi to Gideon.
You then I bid. I am known as a tarnished. I am you now, Bill.
Alright, bye. Not going to see him until the end of the game. Is that somebody else with the Axe of Godrick? Pretty funny if it is. Roger!
Pleased to name's right, but now I had a little miss, as you might guess. Ah, I'm privy to it. Would you care to learn one? Time can move a little conversation. Ah, well done. Something to mark the occasion.
I guess we don't really need to do all of the stuff with Roger for this time, but either way, kind of fun. Let's go and upgrade the axe at least once, because we have a Smithing Stone 1.
Now, those are of a challenge, find them well.
It would be really funny if Godrick's axe didn't even merit like a smithing, like a somber Smithing Stone, like it was just normal. Obviously, they wouldn't do that, but it would just be a really good diss on Godrick. Tree Sentinel shield. Now I'm thinking the ornamental shield that you get from the Grafted Scion. It feels more tied to Godrick as a character. Let's go and activate the Great Rune now as well, before I forget to do that for the remainder of the run. I don't think I even have a Rune Arc. Do I have a Rune Arc? No, we just haven't acquired one yet at all. Axe of Godfrey number 2, Electric Boogaloo. This is actually a great axe rather than being a colossal weapon, so the moveset for it is a little different. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how that affects gameplay. We also have the Ash of War for this one. It's pretty wild. There's a lot of like AoEs that you can do with it, so outside of this though, I didn't really have a grand plan for this weapon. Other than maybe learn some technique for guard counters. Okay. Pull out down near killed him. Thousand a pop is not bad for this stage in the game, but we're going to outpace this very quickly, I think. There we go. Pretty reasonable amount of poise damage. Unfortunately, this thing has now sunk into the floor, so we can't deal more damage to it. Fix your game, FromSoft. What is this? Let's go! I need to remember where you get the talisman that... Oh god, it's in Stormvale, isn't it? The one that enhances guard counters. It's in the room with the night ambush. Do we still get locked in there if we've done everything with Godrick? There's a question. See you, Ginger. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, as ever. So yeah, I guess we could go to the Round Table Hold and buy rune arcs from the Twin Maidens. That's always an option. Somebody there with what looked like Eleanor's pole blade, or at least the twin blade. All of the eagles up here watching you like Odin's ravens. So, where to now? I guess the Mistwoods, so we can at least get Smithing Stone 2. And then I have to remember where all the others are. We don't need to do our round tour of Liurnia this time because it's a Somber weapon and we'll have it for the rest of the game. Unless we wanted to upgrade a shield, but I'm pretty sure upgrading a shield doesn't really do a whole lot to the shield's, like, protective ability, right? It just increases the damage you do with a shield if you use it to, like, main hand hit someone. It could be Euporia. I think Euporia looks a little different, though. Where does Finger Snap go? There we go.
Carly sent you. The name's Blood. He fled somewhere near. Come tell me if I can offer you.
Alright. Let's go fight Darriwil then. Godrick Soldier Ashes would be interesting. It would. We're just cosplaying Godrick at that point, yeah. With the exception of the red hair, which feels a lot more Radagon. I can take the blood grease off as well now because we can't grease this weapon. We'll summon Blythe just for the sake of having him in the fight, although let's see how this goes.
Darriwil. Rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
Get him, Blythe. Got decent reach on it, and actually a pretty short R2 animation, which could be interesting. Yeah, I should have made myself scruffy, yeah. As far as charged attacks go, that's pretty decent. So yeah, flawless, perfect Darriwil fight. No problems there.
Hard to work for it. Don't say I'm not. Oh, if you ventured.
Here's your prize, a rock I found. We'll buy 3 and 4 from EG. Because obviously we can get to Liurnia very easily now. Let's go south and do all of the... let's at least get the Sacred Tears from the Weeping Peninsula, because we'll need those sooner or later anyway. So we'll go and do Weeping Staff. Probably not going to bother with Castle Morn, I guess. We shouldn't need too much from there. Don't need these smithing stones and whatnot either, but the stone sword keys I'll probably take. I'm wondering if ultimately we turn this into a faith build and we just get like the usual buffs. Golden Vow seems pretty appropriate for the whole Godrick situation.
My name is the servants. But I swear my good father decided him. The servants, they've since come. I fear it's please. Would you mind taking my soul wish, please? Thank them, please. Deliver it to my father, who remains.
Alright, bye. Not going to worry too much about that. Oh god, I just realised it's bonfire night. It's November 5th. We went to a display on Saturday. So I thought the fireworks and stuff were over now, but then I just heard one go off and I was like, oh wait, no, we're probably actually going to hear some fireworks in a bit. The thought had not crossed my mind. I'm wondering if we want to swap out the armor for something different, because this doesn't necessarily feel very Axe of Godrick for now. I'm wondering if the iron armor set will feel better in that respect. It feels a little bit more, but we really need something gold. Don't really need any of this, though. Yeah, okay, cool. Cheers. And I am a medium roll still. Tree Sentinel set, maybe. Or, malformed dragon armor. Or, you know, the one that Draconic's Tree Sentinel in front of Malekith's arena drops. Which ultimately we're going to end up getting anyway. It's just really late in the game, so doesn't necessarily feel like the most important thing. Can we get up to Ailing Village from here? I guess we can, right? If we jump over these rocks. Of course, I have to calm down on spamming. Oh, maybe we can't do it this way. Oh, maybe through there, though. Yeah, I have to calm down on spamming the jump and sprints just for poor Torrent to, like, catch up. V for Vendetta time? It is. I think this is broadly going to be a fairly melee-focused playthrough. If we wanted to go a bit more Godrick, we could obviously get the fire incantations and imagine that we had a dragon attached to the arm, but I think I might save that for the one we actually have the Grafted Dragon as our weapon. We'll go this way to Church of Pilgrimage. With apologies to Torrent's ankles. Dupes, Godrick Remembrance, and left-hand Grafted Dragon. Nah, I kind of don't want this to just be Godrick the cosplay, you know what I mean? Because we can't really commit fully to that without having 7 extra arms. So I think we'll try and do our own thing. Especially since I made a red-headed character. We could get the Faith Knot tier from over there, but I don't really think I want to. How's this feel on horseback? Like basically every other weapon. Oh, more blood grease. Not like I don't have enough of that already. Maybe good to know that that's there, though, for the future. Especially for the DLC runs, where sometimes I run out of blood grease trying to deal with Mohg. Here's a weapon we'll never get to in a month of Sundays. The winged scythe that's down here. That's in the W's. Bong. I do kind of like the fact that we beat Godrick by the skin of our teeth. Kind of feels like we earned the axe in a macabre sort of way. Alright, flasks are probably now doing more than I have health to absorb them. But that's fine. That should be everything we need to do on Weeping Peninsula, unless we wanted more mixed physic tiers, I guess. Let's go and see E.G. Let's go through here, grab the Liurnia Grace. We won't bother going around the castle, because we've already beat Godrick, so... First try Godrick, I like how it wasn't easy. He got me to low health, actually. Yeah. It felt dramatic. I think that's what I was looking for. Just running past Gostok, carrying Godrick's axe, being like... Don't mind me, coming through. New Lord of Stormvale. Here we are, Princes of the Universe. I also need to go and see Kenneth. Thinking of Princes and Lords of Stormvale. No Bok today. We do get Hyetta, though, because we spoke to Arena. We get another Sacred Tier from over here in Church of Irith. We are probably not going to interact with Topes. Didn't think so. Two things I want to do in Liurnia. Go and see E.G. to get the extra smithing stones. And then go to 4 Belfries and rematch Grafted Scion. Probably in that order, just to make the rematch slightly easier. We can buy a lantern off of this guy as well, which I should probably do, just so we can...
You're surprised no matter. Why don't... Oh, but don't.
Take care of that. Maybe I'll swap this shield for one of the other ones I got. That feels better. That's feeling good. And then we'll go back to Stormvale to get the guard counter talisman, and I'll learn how to do guard counters finally. Wraithcaller projectiles still coming after me. Hey, Torrent. We're probably going to get the Dexterity Knot Crystal tier from the little island in the lake too, because Dex and Strength are the defining statistics for this weapon. They're what the weapon scales off of, so... But first, anger this bear. Always forget there's a chest here. What's in this? Huh, okay. Don't get that one very often. Figured he was going to do that eventually. That's fine though. Put some distance and some obstacles between him and me. Warp to King's Realm Ruins to see EG. Somber Smithing Stones 3 and 4. We get 5 and 6 on the Altus Plateau. I'm pretty sure there's another one we can get in Caelid, which is either a 7 or an 8. And then you get the other one in the sewers of Langdell. Didn't even jump. Just didn't jump. Decided not to jump that. Refused to jump. Didn't even double jump. Didn't even give me like the extra jump once I was falling. Game straight up decided to kill me there. Not that it matters. I just wanted to do it the fancy way, where you don't have to get rid of the invisible wall. Hey, big fella.
Well, I presume. Oh, I am an old, so yeah, perhaps you...
Oh, insufficient runes. I can just about make it with what I've got left. But then I won't be able to have him upgrade this until I have a few more. Yeah, we need way more.
Oh, and if you come to, I am Toten. Raise territory. When the rain after Levkarian, I conjure. That is why I say, unless you lie quite a rare, perhaps, at any rate, I've something.
Alright, cool. So now he'll have the Carrion Filigree Crest whenever we can be bothered to get that. Let's go beat Grafted Scion. Probably best to just go back along the road from here. Don't really have an easier way of getting up to 4 Belfries. We could get the jellyfish shield. I think that'd really help, but it'd be cool if they sell armor weapons to a merchant and they sell it back for an inflated price. I mean, I guess it's just so you don't regret selling off weapons and armor, but weapons and armor just don't have any worth in this game. Like, it disincentivizes you from selling them by being like, hey, this is like 1,000 runes, which is basically nothing. Like, at the start of the game, maybe, but you don't even have that many weapons at the start of the game. That sheep knew what it did. It had it coming. Alright, we'll run up here. Can't really get anywhere that way. Excuse me. Up the hill from here. There's a lot of those spectral giants and stuff up here that we can avoid. One more on the road here, and then we're good. Excuse me. The 4 belfries, 3 of which are a thing, 1 of which just has a chest. Be useless, but a bit of extra world immersion. Sort of like Bok being able to tailor your clothes for you. That level of useless. A nice detail, but ultimately not that helpful. But then this world is full of nice and not helpful details, so I see where you're coming from. Yodababito, welcome back. We have the Axe of Godrick. We are... I almost said Godfrey, but I stopped myself. We have it upgraded to +4. We are now headed back to the Grafted Scion boss fight for a rematch. And, yeah, I'm going to get the ornamental shield from this, which I would like to use with the Axe of Godrick. Really not going to make me use the shield, huh? This thing still hits pretty hard at this stage in the game, but my flasks are +5 now, so I can heal very well. Which is something I will need to do. That's what I was hoping for. Get wrecked. Yay! The golden beast crest shield. That's what we're about right there. Yeah. Oh, can barely see the guy. This really feels like, if anything, you should be able to surf on it, right? This looks like a hoverboard to me. I also kind of hate how much the handle clips through the shield, but hey, what can you do? Everything clips through everything in this game. Welcome to dynamic video games. This is not the randomized axe run, this is the Axe of Godrick. The Axe of Godfrey was the randomized one. The two of them are similar enough that I verbally confuse them constantly. But no worries. We are back on track here. I need to remember where you get the other Somber smithing stones from a reasonable location. I'm pretty sure there's a Somber 5 in the lake in Caelid. It's like it's in Aeonia Swamp somewhere. Saw Axe of God and got confused. Axe of God is one of the things that you always have to pay out for in your insurance policy for some reason. So on the other side of this, we get the Dragon Barrow map. We also get the Scarab that has the Somber Smithing Stone that we'll need later. But I don't think it will help us right this second. I think it's a 7 or an 8. I think the unfortunate thing is that we do need to go to Altus Plateau at some stage. Which we would need to do anyway. There we go, it's an 8. Fair. Yeah, we'd need to do that anyway to get to Morgoth and the rest of the game, but I'll probably need to go to the sewers to get the Smithing Stone 7, unless I want to get one of those from, like, way later. I've already got a 9. I don't need the 9. I got one from the bridge right after Bestial Sanctum. I normally pick that one up on the way to Grail and the Knights Cavalry fight now. Oh god, oh god. This game is really good at barely letting me double jump for the situations like that. Anyway, let's go down through here to Aeonia Swamp. Grab a couple of graces in Caelid along the way so we can walk back if we need to. I never really used the telescopes around here to find stuff. I don't know why. I felt like exploring on foot was always clearer to me. But yeah, if we go through the swamp here... Where's the most convenient spot for us to get down? Can I ride one of these routes into the swamp? I guess I can. Yeah. Fun, never done that before. This is the first time in a while that I haven't needed to do Celia Crystal Tunnel as well, because, again, we don't need to worry too much about the upgrade path now that we have the weapon that we need. That's what we wanted. So now we're up to +5. We'll do Vare's quest and we'll get a +6 from beating Magnus the Beast Claw. So let's walk back here, go to the Rose Church, pick up the Dex Not Tier. Probably pick up the map of Liurnia as well, right? And I don't know if we want to do Raya Lucaria or Radahn. Raya Lucaria will be easier. Radahn might be more fun. But then, that aside, I don't really know what the point of doing Radahn would be, because we don't really need to go to Nokron for anything. Gonna make yourself supper? No worries. Enjoy your supper. What's up, Vare?
You claim what? Aha, my doubt. The words of the two.
Imagine standing this close to this man.
Even worse. That's the. Oh. Give it a try. And if it. I've high hopes.
Okie doke. Don't need what's in here, really. Don't need Bloodflame Blade either. So, from here... Yeah, I guess... I guess we go and get the Dexterity Knot Crystal tier, and then we go to get the... We'll go and get the Academy Crystal Key just so we can warp through the Academy. And then on the other side we can go to the Grand Dectus Lift. Because then up there's a ton more flask upgrades, there's a ton more useful bits and pieces. Is it this one here? It's the one with the Albinorix on it. Yeah, this one. Cartwheeled on, dude. Absolutely cartwheeled on. I think Godfroy uses the same axe as Godrick. I'm pretty sure Godfroy is just a direct copy of Godrick. So, I buy it. I'll believe it. Fight Smarag? We could. It'd probably just take a while. Yeah, the axe is poking through the shield. Dragon heist, dragon heist. Heist the dragon, dragon heist. Completely missed. Completely missed with the charged heavy. Nice. Oh god, let me pass the wing. Let me pass the wing for the crit. Never mind, we'll just get him in the midsection a bit. Oh god, I'm stuck under the wing. Dang it. Wasn't even worth it. Yeah, that's the problem with the dragons at this stage. I don't have very high vigor. Irritating. Right, we'll go and get the runes. But we have the Academy keys, so that's really what we needed. Oh god, I'm gonna die after this. Yep. Okay, we're not gonna go and get the runes. I picked the wrong point to jump off the bridge. I was being impatient. But the cool part about that is we don't need to worry about the runes anymore. And we're gonna be farming those in a minute anyway, so... I've kind of absolved myself of responsibility for dealing with that, and I'm kind of okay with it. Grail wreaked havoc on me for a while. Yeah. They'll do that. Grail is basically a Gheal, but in a narrower arena, which is really difficult. A broody sky today. Since we're here, we might as well go and get the golden seed from the end of the bridge. I don't plan on fighting Mohg, so we're not going to worry too much about Yura's quest and the invasion and stuff. Elden Ring Survival Guide when? I mean, you're looking at it. I'm not going to be making YouTube videos about it, but this is definitely the Elden Ring survival guide. I feel like A to Z and survival guide feel like a similar concept, right? So let's hop on through here, head up to the Dectus lifts. Get the invasion done on Altus. Oh yeah, we also get the Sacred Tear at Bellum Church on the way through here, so that's nice. That means +6 flasks. +8 if we do some more stuff on Altus. A couple of extra flasks from all of the golden seeds we'll get there too. We can get pretty far into this playthrough in the first few hours. I do wonder how much of what we learned from the Malekith fight in the randomizer, where he was in place of Radagon, I will actually be able to apply to the fight that takes place in Farum Azula. Genuinely thought I was going to fall into a pit there. That's where I want to jump up. Any chance of doing an items only run like throwing daggers? I haven't really considered it because I'm not necessarily in this for doing challenge runs. I'm more about just using all of the standard weapons, but we could give it a try at some stage. I might do a weapon playthrough that's augmented by like consumables and throwing daggers and stuff, because the runs like, you know, a dagger, for example, are still going to be pretty basic in terms of weapons and what you can do with them. So I don't know for certain if I'll want to rely heavily on the dagger, or if I want to rely heavily on other stuff and have the dagger be like, you know, responsible for critical hits, which is what daggers are really for. Like, you stance break with something else and then you follow up with a dagger, and that's sort of how you're supposed to use them. Using it as a main weapon feels kind of masochistic at times. Oh, that was close. Really don't have a whole lot of madness protection on this. Gonna die from that one. Well, no runes, so at least we don't have to worry about whether we make it back in one piece, but I considered shuffling the list of weapons from alphabetical to random just so you get to see some of the later on weapons. Thing is, I can use some of the later on weapons whenever I like to, because realistically, I'm not relying on solely the weapon for the playthrough each time, right? Like, we've double-handed stuff before. Like, when I had the Antspur Rapier, we dual-wielded that with the Frozen Needle, and that was kind of fun. We're not going to see the Frozen Needle again until we get to the F range of weapons. I'm pretty sure for some of the glintstone staves, whenever we're doing like a mage playthrough, I'm going to get to use intelligence weapons like Wing of Astel, or even get a basic weapon and put a magic infusion on it. So there's every chance that I will get to use some of those later weapons earlier anyway. And the difficulty with it being random is that I don't know, it feels less compelling to me. It feels less like something I can hold myself to, and more just like I would be annoyed at the randomness of it if it picked a bad weapon that time. Whereas at least with the alphabetical order thing, it's easier for me to plan playthroughs. Oof. Yeah, like I can plan ahead of time and kind of figure out what the build is going to be if I know what's next, you know? Occasional randomizer within alphabetical order is enough chaos? Yeah, I think so. I like the idea as well of ticking off certain milestones. Like, after this and Azur's Glintstone stuff, we'll be done with all of the weapons that begin with A. And saying, I've beaten Elden Ring with every weapon that begins with A, feels like something people can understand a little bit easier than, I've beaten Elden Ring with 31 weapons. I don't know, there's just something, feels a little different about it. And I'm gonna die again. What is it about madness that I'm just not very... I think it's probably also just the fact that I've got a low health bar at this stage. Like, I feel like I'm kind of vulnerable. Some people in chat saying this is one of the cooler challenges I've seen. Thank you. There's other people who are out there trying to beat Elden Ring with every weapon. I think the alphabetical order thing is like the selling point for me on this. Whether it is for the audience or not is another thing, but... You need mind? I guess, yeah, like that's gonna help build up your, What is the stat that governs resistance to madness? It's like... It's not like lucidity or something, but it's called something like that, right? Focus, that's the one, yeah. Yeah, and like, I have no mind. Where is my mind? It's the fact that it stuns you whenever you get hit with madness as well. That's really annoying. I don't think I've ever had this much trouble with this tower, except when I first played the game, so... Bit silly. I should start using the shield. It's also very particular about where the Eye of Shibriri has line of sight to you. Like, obviously down here, there's not really much in the way of obstacles you can hide behind, so... You're gonna get hit by it when you're rolling over this, but... Oh, that was the wrong thing to drink, never mind. Didn't need it anyway. But yeah, like when I'm at the base of the tower down here, I basically have to get into the tower in order to avoid the flames still damaging me. I think that's what I was doing wrong before. Why is it always rat? I have a change of strategy for the top of this tower now. That's what I should have done the first time, and we wouldn't be in this mess. Every so often I just need to think about it. It will always be rats. Rats SMP, Season 2. That was downright comical? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of needed to think for a second about what my options were. Well, now we've got to fight Vike. Or I guess we could just skip past the invasion and go and grab the Sacred Tear and then leave. I also want the Grace while I'm here. We might as well fight Vike, just so he's not an inconvenience. And maybe do it for the runes. First time I picked up a Roa fruit this playthrough. Well, I've already gotten annoyed with how much madness has affected me so far, so... why not continue that, I suppose? Wasn't sure how much of that you could block with the shield. Apparently, very little of it. From one comedy to another. I'm not going to get Shabriri's Woe from here. Really see no need for it unless we make substantial use of the Mimic tier later or something. Let's try and hop over the boundary where it forces you off the horse. Nope, it just cancelled one of my jumps to do that. Well, the runes aren't that essential anyway, so... got him that time. Ow. Using that a lot. I do kind of love how when he does that attack it leaves this like three-fingered pattern on the ground. No! The madness got me. I wasn't watching it build up. Yeah, I think it's just the low vigor at this stage. Like, normally I've leveled vigor more evenly with everything else, but this time around I really went for the stats that were going to get me the axe. And I put nothing into vigor once I beat Grail, so that's why I'm struggling. I'm taking too many hits. And right now, like, I've got +6 flasks, about to hit +7 once I beat Vike, and that is way past the end of where my health bar ends. So if anything, I am slightly wasting everything, unless I have really, really low health. to think of this more like PvP. Try and roll behind him and get the backstab. The spear is pretty rough, though. I don't really like this guy. He's just this guy, you know? What's his deal? What's this guy's deal, this Vike? Uncle Festering Fingerprint. Vike is apparently the guy who came closest to becoming Elden Lord before the Tarnished. Can't believe he rolled the first one of those, dude. He's done the Godrick fight before, you can tell. So the first couple of hits of that kind of true combo, maybe? Depends on the enemy, I suppose. Maybe he just didn't roll until the next one. AoEs, you say? Nope, no more flasks for you. Okay, that was better. Fingerprint grape, blah blah blah. Mostly just want this grace so we can come back here later in Vare's quest. And we'll take the flask upgrade, of course. Welcome to the Grand Dectus, the only place where you can ride a horse into a lift. To be fair, I think you can do that on the other lifts as well, but... it's sort of like getting a donkey up a tower. No need to worry about Volcano Mana this time. I'm not going to get the Ritual Sword Talisman because I don't need it for a specific damage threshold, and I'm expecting to get hit a lot, so... we are going to go this way anyway, just to get to Erdtree Gazing Hill Grace, and then... there's a golden seed right nearby. Orient myself to the rest of the plateau. I think this run is going to be relatively standard. Like, I don't have many optional objectives in mind. I feel like we could be done with this in maybe 3 streams. Spend a little bit more time leveling up at the bird farm. We started with the longbow, so we already have everything we need for that. Just a better supply of arrows and maybe the gold scarab talisman before we do that. Going to Altus and resting at a Grace means the Radahn fight becomes available as well, so we could go and do that very easily. But I might do that on the next stream, because at that point I'll have had lots of opportunity to level up. Be fun with a bigger health bar. Fun fighting Radahn with a better axe. Say hello to Goldmask very briefly. Oh yeah, we need to be under the bridge, don't we? I get a little bit turned around when I go this way because I think in the previous route I would go through Lanedale just to get all the golden seeds on the way. And this time I don't do that. Now for another annoying PvP encounter. I also think I should be able to survive a fall down to the forest floor from there, so I don't even need to backtrack and get to the Spirit Spring, which is what I've done previously. Alright. The I command the nail thing is nowhere near as fun as Horolu's weapon skill, unfortunately. Because it doesn't, like, toss people up into the air when they get hit by it. It is slightly quicker, though. So that's something I think I need to use to my advantage, but it's really for the AoE and not for the solo fights and the change-up. Narrowly avoided the dog there. Got a really strong heavy. Obviously, I know that's what this weapon is for, but still. He also does Garank's 1-2 of the pocket sand, which is very funny to me. We're just taking golf swings at each other. Oh man, the jumping heavy is so harsh. It's a lot. Again, low vigor. My vigor bar is still lower than my stamina bar. That's why I need the birds. I've done less like boss fights and bits and pieces because of this weapon being a somber weapon. And even on the DLC runs where I would be speedrunning and fight this guy, you pump a lot into Vigor because you don't need super high strength and dex just to wield the weapon. Oh. Awful. The NPC fights are some of the harder ones, though, honestly, because of the amount that they can roll through your slower attacks. Harder to predict what they're going to do compared to the boss fights that feel a lot more, like, scripted, almost. Come out, wherever you are. I need to adopt his strategy of the jump heavies. How has this become a game of cat and mouse? Because he's waiting for the right time to become the cat. The good news is you don't actually have to complete this fight in order to progress Vare's questline. It just helps because this guy has a Somber Smithing Stone 6 he drops when you beat him, I think. Unless it's a Somber 5 and you get the Somber 6 from down the hill, but I'm pretty sure this is the 6. Ow, dude. He does like half my health bar with one attack. I think I'm out of invasion items now, though. I think with 5, that's it. At least now we can go back to Vare and say we're ready to move on to the next step, and then we can get to Mohgwyn Palace. But, yeah, that's kind of rough. Yeah, I don't have any more of the fingers. So, yeah, I guess we're headed to Mohgwyn Palace anyway. But, man, that was a rougher fight than I expected it to be. Axe of Godrick does not do as much, like, poise damage as you might expect for such a big weapon. It's got a relatively slow swing, even though it's like a faster swing than the Axe of Godfrey was. One more L for Godrick. Yeah, exactly. I feel like doing it this way round has kind of shown up Axe of Godrick, whereas I feel like if I did this before I did the Axe of Godfrey, I feel like the Axe of Godfrey would have come across even better.
So, now, for your normally this, but since
Yeah, maiden less. And then we go back and see Vare. I'm pretty sure once he gives you the bloody finger, once you receive the bloody finger, he gives you the bloody finger. When you you have that, you can invade as many times as you want. So I'm pretty sure we could go back and fight Magnus after that, if we really wanted to. But I'm fairly certain there are going to be other places we can get hold of the smithing stone. We can also go and get our flasks up to +9 just from being in the Altus area anyway, so it's really just about having the vigor to survive that fight a little better. Okay, content warning, gross finger stuff. We've got the shield to censor it. Not that it's really visible that he's doing anything.
Oh, good heavens. Clench your teeth.
Let me read the message. Let me read the message.
Never, for it is what you have. Oh,
thank you. Yay! We done did it. I don't know if there's a Somber 6 around here, but if there is, maybe we get that instead, huh? Pulls out your finger and hands it back to you. I think he's supposed to be, like, injecting you with some of Mohg's blood or something. Like, I don't think he's actually, like, chopping your finger off in that moment. I think he's doing something else, but it's very unclear because the animations don't really allow for anything to be shown that way. Okay, we get regular smithing stones from here. I don't think we get the Somber ones. We get a Somber Ancient Dragon smithing stone from the top part of this, which is why I'm going there now. I'm definitely not going to fight Mohg in this condition. Are you kidding me? Shout out to Raspberry Jam. We're away. Thought he was chopping your finger off. Yeah, I thought that too, but then what I gather from other people who've explained it to me, and I should probably equip my lantern while I'm in here, just so you folks can see. Yeah, this says, glistening blood has been siphoned into the nail of this finger. Its sickly pale skin feels nothing now, but the nail still aches with sweetest pain. So, like, your finger, like, maybe, like, in the nail or something, which is obviously kind of gross. So, sorry if people have, like, nail stuff. It's kind of body horror-y, I guess, but yeah, it's supposed to be something that numbs one of your fingers, which I guess allows you to invade people. So we could absolutely kill Vari right now, but I will not. Since I have so few runes at this stage, I might go and grab this now, because there's a likelihood I will die. I could also have been fighting Magnus without Radagon's Source Seal, since that would probably limit the amount of damage he did to me, but okay, we got that at least, so if I die, then that doesn't matter. Is there something about Mohg's blood that just lets you invade and your finger is kind of a receptacle for it? I mean, I guess, like, everybody who invades you from the Mohgwyn dynasty faction is called a bloody finger. The ones Yura is hunting down, like Nereus, the bloody finger, is the first one you meet. Eleonora is the violet bloody finger. There's also Ravenmount Assassin. And they are all supposed to be affiliated with Mohg, whereas the Volcano Manor faction, everyone who invades you as part of that, or if you invade somebody else as part of that, then the invader is known as a recusant, and it's like a different faction's way of invading, right? Like it's kind of the distinction between the two groups. Excuse me, sir. Sorry about that. And so, yeah, I think the idea is that Mohg's bloody finger... That's a regular smithing stone 6, okay. Mohg's bloody finger is meant to be kind of a representation of people who have tied themselves to Mohg and the blood curse. But the recusant thing is something different entirely. But fingers are obviously items of power, and so, you know, that's part of the reason that they use them to invade other worlds. Bloody fingers all have whatever infusion of blood Vari gives you. I mean, potentially, yes. I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm not going to end the stream. I want to do a little bit of farming and then go back and maybe gear up a little bit more. But I'm going to briefly run to the bathroom and maybe grab myself another quick drink. So, yeah, see you folks in a sec. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes' time. Hello, my friends. We're back. Back at the Palace Approach Ledge Road, where I probably want to re-equip the longbow and some arrows and kill a few birds while I'm here. And now I have to remember how this works, because I've not done this for a while, and I feel like the last few times I've used ranged weapons like this, they've been in Dark Souls, where you toggle the long-range view instead of holding to use it, and so it's like really confusing to me, the bow control scheme in this game now. We'll get back into it nice and easily, but... Use this farm way too much? Oh yeah, no, this is the main way that I level up in between streams if I want to hit like a higher level for the next area of the game. Like if I can probably get to Lanedale without using this farm, but then if I want to do mountaintops, I can speedrun my way through mountaintops, not do anything on the way, just get to the Fire Giant. The problem then is that Fire Giant is a massive damage sponge, and I need to be a little bit more hench in order to actually have a chance against Fire Giant. So mostly right now I just want to level my vigor a little bit so I'm not real squishy, as we just found out from that one NPC fight. And then I'll go and get the Gold Scarab Talisman, which will let me get more runes out of this farm. Probably go and get a few more Gold Pickled Fowl Feet so that I can get even more runes out of this farm. Especially when you see the occasional birds that have glowing eyes and give you like 80k runes if you have all of the rune farming buffs active. But no, the Gold Scarab we will go and get after this. I just want to make sure I'm not going to die to the Cleanrot Knights over and over again like I was with Magnus the Beastclaw. This is still +1, right? Like I haven't actually upgraded it. That's probably another reason I wasn't doing very well against Magnus, was that I haven't upgraded this past +1 yet. And Altus Plateau enemies probably want you to be around +4 or 5. But once again, it's about having runes to do the upgrades. I've got the smithing stones to get us to +5, so... I just thought, oh, I went to EG and I bought the smithing stones. I must have done the upgrades at some point after that. Nope, didn't do it. Speaking of lore and lore speculations and bloody fingers, here is a fun thing that I heard the idea for a while ago, and I kind of thought of some more stuff that kind of supports it as evidence. Eleonora, who is the NPC you fight in the church on Altus Plateau, has the twin blade, the pole blade, and the one that Yura is seemingly in love with, or, you know, related to in some way. She's known as the Violet Bloody Finger, and she has a bleed weapon, but drops the purifying crystal tier, the one that, like, eliminates the effect of Mohg's blood curse when he does the nihil, nihil, nihil attack. And the theory is that she is somebody who entered Mohg's service in order to take Mohg down. And I think an interesting aspect of how that comes together is also in her name. If you think about violet blood as like an opposition to red blood, you think that's the kind of thing that violet is maybe the color you would use to describe veins as opposed to arteries, right? Like the blue in your arm as opposed to the red. Arteries move blood away from the heart, circulating it around the body, and veins return the blood to the heart. And so I think that's the really interesting part of it, is if you think of her as like a violet bloody finger. She is like a vein. She's returning to the heart of something. You get the sense that she's probably going after Mohg with this mixed physic tear that purifies the blood curse. And she could potentially be like a saboteur in Mohg's forces, basically. Like she is out here trying to take down Mohg before we do. And she sees us as potentially interfering with that plan. It's a possibility, and kind of an interesting one, I think. Gonna go to Hugh to do my upgrades. I'll also make sure we get spirit tuning started because Roderica's here.
Although I'm still looking. It's all a bit. I'm still looking.
Hugh is praying.
I didn't. I'll be doing
The usual thing that happens when we get to Altus Plateau. Can upgrade this to +5 now. And we could upgrade this, but all it does is affect the physical attack power, not the damage negation, so we will ignore that. Yeah, that will probably do.
No matter. Those were maybe prison my breath. Well, look, she's cracked. She has it. I saw in her eyes.
Do you use a random weapon until you get the weapon for the run? I typically start by either just sticking with the starter gear for whatever character class I choose and upgrading that until I get to the point where I can acquire the weapon I'm looking for, or I run with something that has a similar, like, a similar stat spread. Like if I'm looking for an axe, I choose one of the earlier axes in the available weapons. Like I'll go and get the great axe from the back of the carriage in Limgrave if I've got like a big axe, like a gargoyle's axe or something that I can only get from beating an enemy like way further, way earlier in the run. So like for the Alabaster Lord's Sword, which you have to get from the Lake of Rot, with that, I think we just had like the Lordsworn's Great Sword the entire time until we got to the Lake of Rot, and then we came back with the Alabaster Lord's Sword. In some cases, for getting to the DLC weapons, there's a fast way of getting to the DLC that involves using Bloodhound's Fang, so I use that weapon a lot too. But we're going to do we're going to do a run with Bloodhound's Fang when we get into like the B weapons anyway, so... Sooner or later we will get there. Anyway, let's go and see if we can fight Magnus again now we have the Bloody Finger. Because you can buy those invasion items, but I'm fairly certain the Bloody Finger just lets you invade whenever. Always fascinating to consider characters who have plans in the works before you show up. Yes, absolutely. Like, everybody else is the main character of their own story in that way. I usually start the playthrough thinking, okay, gonna use strength build, and then when I find myself, again, I cast spells, yeah. Yeah, it's funny when you start struggling and you're like, well, maybe I'll go back to the strat that I know works. Yeah, we can just invade him now, that's fine. Welcome in, Boel. Good to see you. Pocket Sands. Okay, that doesn't one-shot me anymore. I feel happier about that. Okay, that didn't let me drink, but that's also kind of fine. Okay, when he's two-handing, I need to be careful. Okay, can't believe that one hit me, but fine, I guess. No! Dang it! He went for the chess move, the strategic advantage. He took a couple of hits so that he could line that up when I had no stamina left. How am I doing today? I'm doing very well, yeah. I went for a dentist checkup, so my teeth have gotten all clear, which feels good. Don't have to go back to the dentist for another 6 months, also feels good. Then played some Minecraft and played some Elden Ring. Also some fireworks going off outside because it's bonfire night here in the UK. So it's an active evening. I'm also now planning a couple of TTRPGs for the month of November. I'm running Eco Mofos with the 8-bit community crew in a couple of... No, I mean this forthcoming Sunday, that'll be. But on the same Sunday, I'm probably going to be starting a campaign locally of Stillfleet, which is another sci-fi system that I played with the 8-bit community ages ago. But I went to another meetup of the local RPG society that I went to last month. So we had that yesterday and met some fun people there, signing up to play some other games as well. Finally, gosh, okay. Yeah, it's been a nice couple of days. I was considering maybe at some point doing a bonus stream where I do some like campaign prep for some of the RPG stuff I'm running. There's our Somber 6. But yeah, I know people on streams in the D&D category are sometimes doing like campaign prep streams, and I kind of like the idea of that because it's unlikely that anybody who is in my campaign is going to like follow me on Twitch, so a good way of spending my time getting a stream in, chatting to people about it, spreading the word about the hobby.
Well, I took you no matter, it's lay out your arm.
Nice. So it doesn't take much to upgrade this, we just need the smithing stones. But we now have a C in strength scaling, and it's going to be a C in dex scaling as well after we level it up a couple more times. Let's go and get the gold scarab, which should not be too difficult. At least now that we've leveled up some, and the axe is now +6. Oh wait, wrong way. This way. Do I use summons or not really? I don't tend to use them for most stuff. Typically, I just end up using them for the end of the game if it feels like the build that I've come up with doesn't do well against Radagon and Elden Beast. For whatever reason. I always forget that this graveyard is up here, but there's not too many items here. Thinking in future randomizer runs, I'm like, maybe it would behoove me to know where some of those little graveyards are. But yeah, I tend to use summons, like, I'll throw the Mimic Tier out if I want to beat some of the end bosses and just be done with a weapon, or a couple of times I've tried thematic summons because it's tactically advantageous for bow-based playthroughs to have a summon to distract Radagon in particular, because he parries a lot of ranged attacks. Unless your timing is really good and you're very good at dodging, and it becomes a lot more about patience. But I used Latena for the Albinauric bow playthrough. We used Redmane Knight Ogre along with the crossbow playthrough that we did for the Arbalest. And yeah, outside of that, we've just been going Mimic Tier or going home. There's me thinking backstepping was ever going to help. We don't have anything that can help with Scarlet Rot, so we will simply press on and rely on heals to do the work for us. At least we're doing a decent amount of damage now, so there's that. And the flasks heal a decent amount. So that's good too. Absolutely not. Don't want to be poisoned too. Let's go to the Cleanrot Knights and see if they can clean me, shall we? Yeah, Latenna is definitely a thematic one for the Albinauric bow. Alright, I predict the one that joins halfway through this fight is going to be a problem. This guy, though, or this lady, potentially. I think the Cleanrot Knights are all supposed to be women, right? Less of a problem. Yeah, that, though. That I am not keen on. Not when I have Scarlet Rot currently, anyway. Enough of your cosmic frisbees. Thank you. That's what we were after. So now we're good on leveling. I suppose we can go and see Patches too. Because that gets us access to crafting gold pickled fowl feet, but in order to get the crafting ingredients, we need to go and farm them from Limgrave, Divine Bridge, and wherever you find the gold fireflies, so I don't think it's as important. I think we can probably just throw this on here and probably at some point soon just ditch the Source Seal entirely. Maybe let's go with that now, considering that we're going to be working towards a better health pool anyway. Oh, and the other thing is I don't have many rune arcs, but we can equip Godrick's Great Rune. Can anyone help you beat the tutorial boss? Soldier of God, Rick. Chad that he is. There we go, now you're talking. That feels better. Now I just gotta not die by falling off this cliff, you know? Killing this bird once or twice is gonna give us enough runes that we can just buy all the... Oh, so close. 42067, get out of here. We can buy as many arrows as we will need, so maybe we'll just quickly go back to a merchant and grab those.
Wait, well, you're back.
Anything else we need to buy here? I don't think so.
Goodbye.
See ya. Too stingy to use my rune arcs when I finished the game. I had 15-ish. Was like, oh, this would have made things easier. It's tricky because some of the runes work really well for a specific build. Like if you've got a lifesteal kind of thing going on, you know, Melania's rune or Rykard's is going to help with that. Mohg's is really weird. Mohg's is like mainly for invasions. Like if you're invading or if you summon stuff, it gets given... What is it, like a blood curse or something that helps it deal more bleed damage? I forget exactly how the thing works, but... There we go. But then, I think, honestly, Godrick's, Morgott's, and Radahn's runes are the ones that feel applicable to any situation, basically. It's like, you always need more health. And especially when your health is really high, Morgoth's Great Rune makes it, like, so much higher than you can get by pumping, like, another 20 vigor into your health. But the, +5 to all stats that you get from Godrick's is not necessarily that useful towards the end of the game. So with most RPGs, save everything and never use it. Yeah, I mean, that's how I used to play all of the, you know, Final Fantasy games and stuff. Ending FF7 with 99 of all of the potions and elixir or whatever else. All of your materia completely maxed out. Grinding to get OP was part of the fun. I mean, still is, kind of. But I have less time for it these days, and honestly, more games. I think that was the thing, is back in the day, I only had a handful of games. Parents weren't going to buy me, like, every game I wanted, so I ended up playing the same games over and over quite a lot. Really enjoying the stories, especially with RPGs, because you get so much out of them. So much replay value, or just a long enough story that keeps you entertained for a long time. All the optional objectives. With Remake, saved everything for hard mode. Didn't read that you couldn't use items on hard mode. Ah, I haven't seen or really played much of... I haven't seen much, and I have not played at all the FF7 Remake, so that's kind of a neat thing to hear, that there's like a hard mode version of it. That's fun. Here's another thing we can test out. I don't think it'll be that effective just because the radius isn't that great, but can we do something like this? Well, it doesn't kill all of them, so that's unfortunate. Oh, so the follow-up does the AoE that, like, launches them, I see. Get down there. Interesting. So if you hit L2 again during that, you do a follow-up attack. So if I get to, like, here, maybe. I can kind of do it. It doesn't hit everything, though. It's not. It's quite a small radius. Obviously, it's not like Waves of Gold level, but nothing is, so... Oh! I'll say we're approaching the damage threshold that I'm looking for. We'll try and... Yeah, we'll get to at least 40 Vigor. We'll call that our benchmark for now, but then I want to put more into the damage stats. A glutton for more damage, as ever. And we've got everything but the Smithing Stone 7 as far as, like, upgrading this. This weapon. So we can get it to +10 as long as we can go and find the Smithing Stone 7 from the sewers in Lanedale. Which means we should probably go and beat either Renala or Radahn. Do I just do storyline bosses? I just do whatever it takes to get to the end of the game. I set optional objectives for each one depending on, like, what I think feels like thematic or interesting for a character build. So in the case of the DLC weapons, you have to beat Radahn and Mohg. But, like, on the Astrologer's Staff playthrough, because I started with it and I wanted to do a full playthrough of the DLC on stream with Zloy XP, because he'd never played it, I decided to get every sorcery in the game. So I set little optional objectives like that, and that means I end up going around and doing a ton of the optional content, some of the other bosses. But yeah, most of the time I'm just looking to get through the game with the weapon, as long as it feels like by the end of the game I will have used the weapon a reasonable amount, you know? I'm not going to fight Malenia with every weapon, absolutely not. I don't feel like I have the patience or the skill level, especially since our first playthrough was a sorcery playthrough, and I have no idea how to beat Malenia with just sorceries. Too scared to do the DLC after seeing the Bale and Mesmer fights. Honestly, Bale, I didn't find that difficult. I think I was probably over-leveled for the fight, but like most things, if you have decent stats, and once you've gone around found enough of the Shadow Tree fragments, you're going to find those fights go reasonably well for you. The thing to remember is that Mesmer is not gatekeeping any areas, except for the last dungeon of the game. And so you can go basically everywhere on the map before you fight him, which means you can get your Shadow Tree Blessing, which is the thing that, like, scales your power and makes your stats actually count in the Realm of Shadow. You can do that all before you fight. You can get to like, plus 18 or something before you fight Mesmer. Yeah, he's kind of like Malenia in that sense. He's similar in terms of difficulty if you fight him at, like, the, I guess, the intended way you're supposed to. Honestly, I found Relana, like, almost as difficult. And that's the fight that feels the most old school in terms of, like, she's just got a bunch of patterns that you either learn and you can parry and counter them, or you try to brute force your way through it, basically. Whereas Mesmer has a lot more flashy stuff going on. Relana telegraphs a lot, I guess, or at least has very strong rhythm to her fight, whereas fighting Mesmer feels a bit more organic. Like, you're never quite certain where the hitbox is, whereas Relana is like, okay, cool, you've got two big swords. Okay, strength is still putting tons of points into our attacks, so we'll go with that. But yeah, Mesmer and Malenia have a fair bit in common, but Mesmer doesn't, like, heal on hit, and he doesn't deal as much damage as Malenia does. I think the main thing is, like, they've got a very similar grab. The grab does a ton of damage to you. But Bale is a really fun fight. The main reason to fight Bale is because the summon for that fight has dialogue, which is the most hype part of the DLC. So probably need to do a new playthrough. You don't want to try the DLC on New Game Plus 3. Yeah, no, you definitely want to go in from a New Game file, for sure. Depending on how recently you played the game as well, you may want to just go in with a character who feels more comfortable for you. Like, if you have a New Game Plus 3 file from ages ago, you probably want to just start a new game for the sake of getting familiar with the game and shaking the rust off a little bit, because you kind of need to... You don't want to be rusty going into the DLC, because it immediately throws challenging stuff at you. You're late to Elden Ring, you played about a month ago. Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Good time to get into it, to be fair, with the DLC just out, so that's 465 as well. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, after a certain point, the strength is going to cap, and then we'll level dex as well. You're only on New Game Plus 3 because you want to do the Platinum Trophy on PlayStation. Oh, so you needed like 3 endings? Yeah, I still don't have all the achievements on Steam because I haven't done a playthrough where I've gotten all of the, like, legendary sorceries and stuff like that. I don't think I've got all of the legendary weapons on the same character and stuff. I should do just 100% run one of these days, but having just done the randomizer and a full playthrough of the DLC, I think I'm good for a while. Yeah, you need the normal ending, the Rani ending, and the Frenzied Flame, yeah. I've done each of those anyway, but I think it's more the collect 'em ups that I haven't done now. I've done all bosses playthrough before, but I was doing that with one very specific weapon, so... Boyfriend convinced me to get Elden Ring as well, bought it recently for PS4. Fair play. I mean, it's a great game on whatever console you play it. I think the art style of this game does a lot to hide the fact that graphically it's not, like, super cutting edge, but it's still a very good-looking game. Like, FromSoft do incredible environment design. Even stuff like the environmental effects, like the fog and stuff, I think do a really good job of feeling like the game has atmosphere. It doesn't need to look like a photorealistic movie or whatever. But I'm used to looking at Minecraft all day, so what do I know? PS5 felt a bit laggy, or maybe just you. I think some people have said, like, I hear a mix of things, like it works better on PS5, or like, you know, whether you're doing performance mode or like graphics mode. If you want to crank it to ultra, then it feels a little bit laggy. Things that get too high res and photorealistic get very uncanny valleyed, rather stylized. Yeah, I like a good stylized game. Hence the Minecraft obsession, but okay, Dex is now getting us more points than Strength is. Cool, it's starting to taper off a little bit. But yeah, I like, you know, pixel art games and retro style games. And having just played Dark Souls Remastered, this game looks like a freaking painting, so... Dark Souls is great, but I do really prefer Elden Ring, still. Nice. I think now that we've leveled some, we're at 83. It's not bad. I think that's probably a good level for Lanedale. So I might stroll on into Caelid, fight Radahn, and then go to Lanedale for the business. Just realized, actually, we never got the Sacred Tear from the Plague Church. So we can actually go and see Millicent today. Hardest fight was the night before Malekith. After my third playthrough, I found out you can just run past him into the Malekith room. Yeah, the Draconic Tree Sentinel is a pain in the butt a lot of the time, but he's also one of those fights that I've done enough because he's that mandatory fight before you get into Lanedale, and the one in front of Malekith has the same moveset. So I fought him enough, I think, that he's just predictable to me now, and I find that a little easy. Oh, I just realized something. I was thinking about doing the trick where you jump into Radahn's arena, but since I have Godrick's Great Rune active right now, maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just go to Radahn the normal way. Because if I mess up this trick 100 times, then kind of waste my rune arc. Not that I'm going to reapply a rune arc every time afterwards, but... Him and Horolu is the only boss I spammed crouch on after beating them. Oh, yeah. You gotta let it out sometimes, you know? I'm trying to think of what else I want to do with this build. Like, Shard of Alexander is going to help with the Ash of War. We've got the Axe Talisman. I'll probably swap the Gold Pickled Foulfoot for... We might just put Radagon's Sword Seal back on, to be honest. Like, it seems like a silly thing to do for this fight, but... It's not going to be too difficult to fight Radahn like this, I don't think. Famous last words. But I reckon, we don't need too much else for this build, you know what I mean? I don't think there's too much else that I'm really looking for. Your roommate came in and asked if you're okay. Yeah, I bet. I bet. I wonder if there is anywhere else that it makes more sense to get a fast Somber Smithing Stone 7 from, but I don't think there will be, because if there was, it would probably be in that fast route to the DLC that I have used in the past. I can't see there being much else that's going to help with this unless I change up my style and actually start using guard counters. Which I have not been what? Underground required ahead, what does that mean? Not streaming or making videos, do you play games for fun, or does it feel like work? I mean, I'll play games for fun if I have time, but right now I'm trying to play more tabletop RPGs where I can go and meet people and do a bit more kind of in-person gaming stuff, because that feels like it's something that I can turn into a social thing and make friends IRL. Gets me out of the office, away from the desk, but still has that gaming thing to it, you know?
The festival.
Yeah, let's go fight Radahn now.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General Radahn is cursed ever to wander.
Hey, he also has red hair. What are the chances?
From the inside, by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone.
I saw an incredible Lego build of Radahn, which had him crouching like this over some Lego skeletons. That was very good.
Now he gathers the corpses
on the Elden Ring subreddit.
Foes alike, gorging on them like a dog. Howling at the sky.
All right.
But now. Oh.
But now. Never mind that. People IRL. Dude, I recommend it. As long as it's safe to do, obviously. And I meet up in, like, small groups for tabletop RPG stuff, so... minimal concern about that stuff these days. Alright. Oh, I should have put the dex not tier on my mixed physic. That's something I'll do later. Alright. Not going to do the cheesy start to this one this time. We are going to summon everyone, though, because that's what makes this fight the most fun, I think, for me. Oh, got hit. Oh no! I knocked down my barricade. Oh, it's a good hit. Everyone traumatized by that effect now. Nice. Oh, didn't quite get the crit though. Alexander, no! Okay, everyone's still alive. Wow. That's pretty intense. Here he goes. Blythe! Alright, just gonna resummon a few people. There's Jaren. Blythe and Alexander should be up here somewhere. No? Okay, fine. Okay, now they're popping up. Now they're popping up. Get them back in here. Great job there, Jaren. Okay, here he goes with this one. This is his Commander Gaius attack now. Doke. Jumps in the air, comes down, big wave, jump that, swing, and finish. Not bad. Pretty over level for it, but we don't mind that. It's Biv, thanks so much for the tier 1. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yeah, we assembled the Avengers for that one. And now another red-haired man looks at the stars and wonders, what now? Pretty cool. And after all that, a red mark was made on the map. All the way over here for some reason. All the summon signs. Be wary of Elden Ring. Well, we got to keep our Great Rune, so that's that. That's nice.
Aye. One hit after that, and as such, as luck, if I can, and you know, who could expect? Just you wait.
Okay, cool. Now we have Alexander all taken care of.
The glory of the and then a fall. I can't fathom he was a living.
Haven't done anything with Rani on this playthrough. Unlikely that we will, I think. Oh yeah, way over. And yeah, next stop, Lanedale. 445, nice. Always look for the stat that makes the number go up. I suppose we'll walk to Altus Plateau. We'll get all of the golden seeds outside of Lanedale. Oh, it's nighttime, so the Knight's Cavalry is out. Then we can avoid the Sentinel and the Sentinel. I'm going to grab the Grace here just in case anything should happen to us on the way up. I don't want to run all the way back here. I kind of like going up this side area now. Have fewer things shooting arrows at me. It was also a lot nicer coming up here when there wasn't a rune bear in the randomizer. Then we can get around him. Eventually. Haha! We've made it. Trees Sentinel. I figure we'll get this Grace, even though I don't expect we'll need to come back here. How am I doing for seeds? Just those two? Okay, so we'll get one flask upgrade from the outskirts. Going to ignore the gargoyle. Much as it's fun that it makes a dramatic entrance. Gargoyle? What gargoyle? You might as well fight Morgwyn, since he's here and all. Just a little preview. If Morgott was a Dark Souls enemy, do you think you'd get a weapon for cutting his tail off? Almost certainly, I think, right? Oh, ow. Alright, mate, alright. I'm in a crater already, you've made your point. On the other hand, he's in a crater. So he's kind of stuck there. Oh, and then he walks away, of course he does. Nice. This talisman might be kind of nice to use if we want a bit more stamina without putting much into endurance. I'm kind of okay with the outfit as it is. Like, I don't really see the need to upgrade too much about the outfit. I tell a lie, this is better. First time you got here, I was like, nope. Yeah, It's always fun when the game gives you the notion that any enemy could be Morgott at any time. You're like, oh, that's how it works. He's doing like an Agent Smith thing. It's very cool that he is the one enemy who basically follows up on his whole, like, you know, I'm gonna be watching you when you've, like, ostensibly killed him. And then you get to that point and you're like, oh, he meant it. It wasn't just like some kind of weird epilogue to the fight with him. He like genuinely meant he was going to be showing up again. Not just him trying to sound hard, you know? Haven't given much thought to how I'm going to beat Draconic Tree Sentinel, but let's try that, yeah? Another good trick for this fight is just to stay close to his shield side, because he doesn't have too many attacks he can do from that side compared to the giant club he's rocking. I think I'm due a stagger here. Yep, there we go. Yeah, mistimed that last roll. Not bad, though. Oh, ouch. Oh, I'm out of heals. I didn't realize. Oops. Yep, backing off from that then. Nope. Not today. Yeah, you can't riposte enemies on horseback for some reason. They just never give you like a point to crit them. So, yeah, charger heavy. One thing I keep forgetting about this, because I've got the charged attack talisman, is that the basic, like, R1 swings with this weapon are honestly pretty quick. Well, now all we've got to do is run to the sewers. And from there, we have everything we need to get this weapon up to +10. Usually just spam rock sling. Yeah, makes sense. Let's briefly say hi to Melina. I went into that Draconic Tree Sentinel fight with like 4 flasks left, I think.
For bringing me here, and thus I shall depart. Farewell. I shall leave. I wish you. You have. I have no.
Bye. Okay, quick route to the sewers. Beat up on the saxophonist just for fun. Oh, almost got bubbled. One thing I actually miss about the Dark Souls style of controls is being able to roll as soon as you landed. If you fall from like a good distance, it like helps you regain your movement if you roll immediately after you land, and that's like such a fun. Okay, that's still going on. It's such a fun piece of like movement tech, almost, you know. Free rune arc. Didn't enjoy this area. Always got lost in the giants before the night. The nights before the giant wing was hell annoying. Yeah. I know Lanedale reasonably well at this point, so I just press on to the bits that matter. What matters to me right now is seeing. And then not getting killed by lobsters, ideally. See how well that goes. Something tells me I might not have enough vigor for it, but also just gonna get shanked by omens. Or by imps. Oh god, one of them's already seen me. Or maybe it hasn't. That one has, though. Yay! Okay, now we run. We've made it. Rather be killed by lobsters or snails. I mean, at least the lobsters... The snails insta-kill you. The lobsters take their time. Cool that it lets you warp out of here, actually. Considering most of the time, if you're underground, you can't. I get the feeling they were like, no, we're gonna... People are gonna want to leave this. From, like, anywhere inside.
No. Oh, don't pay me any. Just lay out your...
We are all set with a +10 Axe of Godrick. Not bad for the stream. I think we will call it there. I'm probably going to spend a bit of time leveling up at the Mohgwyn Palace bird farm between streams, but then, in theory, from this point, we should be good. We've got Margit, Fire Giant, Farum Azula, and then back to the Erd Tree for the end of the game. We'll see how well that goes next stream. We could, of course, go down to Nokron and get Mimic Tier if we want to get ourselves an insurance policy against Axe of God. But, yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. For now, folks, I think that's where we'll wrap things up for today's stream. I think we've made a plentiful amount of progress. And we can raid somebody here on Twitch to wrap up for the evening. Let's see who's live. Oh, I tell you what, Apothec Decay is playing Hades, and I can't resist that. So, I'll send you folks over to Becca. Right now, they're currently in Elysium, it looks like. Still enjoying the heck out of Varatha. Although it looks like they might have the aspect of Achilles' Spear now, so that's exciting, because weapon variants in Hades are where the game really starts to open up in terms of playstyle. So, go say hi to Becca for me. You can use your Pixel Hype emotes in the hashtag PixelRaid to show some love. I will see you guys again maybe on Thursday. I do have a plumber coming on Thursday, so we'll see what time I have. But in the meantime, have yourselves a good one. Take care. Bye for now.